Ravi Kumar's heart pounded as he unfolded the letter. The edges of the paper felt sharp against his fingertips, but nothing could prepare him for the words that seemed to leap off the page. Notice of deportation. His vision blurred, and for a moment, the world around him faded into a deafening silence. This couldn't be happening, not now, not after everything he had sacrificed to build a life in America. In the next room, his 6-year-old daughter, Asha, giggled as she colored a picture of their family under a bright yellow sun. Ravi stared at her, his chest tightening. How could he tell her that everything she knew, her school, her friends, her home, could be taken away in just 30 days? "Ravi, what is it?" Priya, his wife, asked as she entered the room, sensing his distress. He handed her the letter wordlessly, unable to meet her eyes. Her sharp intake of breath cut through the air like a knife. "This can't be real," she whispered, clutching the paper as if willing it to disappear. "It's real," Ravi said, his voice barely audible. "And we have no time." That night, Ravi couldn't sleep. He sat at the dining table, his laptop glowing softly in the darkness. Around him were scattered papers, immigration documents, pay stubs, and photographs of his family's life in the U.S. He scrolled through endless articles, searching for stories of others who had fought deportation and won. The odds seemed insurmountable. And then his gaze fell on a framed photo on the wall, a Tesla assembly line with him in the foreground holding a small award for innovation. The memory of that day came rushing back. How proud he had felt to contribute to a company that symbolized change and possibility. If anyone could help him now, it was Elon Musk. But how could he, an assembly line worker, possibly get the attention of one of the most powerful men in the world? Sending an email seemed too ordinary, too easy to ignore. Ravi needed to stand out. He needed to do something bold. The next morning, Ravi arrived at Tesla's Fremont factory earlier than usual, carrying a large cardboard sign. In bold black letters it read, "Elon, please hear my story. My family's future depends on it." He positioned himself near the entrance where executives and engineers often passed by. It was a gamble, but he hoped the right pair of eyes would notice him. As employees began trickling in, some glanced at Ravi with curiosity, while others avoided his gaze. Hours passed and his legs ached from standing, but he refused to leave. He knew this might be his only chance. By mid-afternoon, a small crowd had gathered, murmuring among themselves. A few took photos, and one woman approached him. "What's this about?" she asked. Ravi explained his situation, his voice steady but filled with urgency. The woman, moved by his story, nodded. "I'll share this on Twitter. Maybe it'll reach someone who can help." Within hours, the photo of Ravi holding his sign went viral. The caption read, "Tesla worker Ravi Kumar, fighting to save his family from deportation. Can Elon Musk step in?" Thousands of retweets and comments poured in, tagging Musk and demanding his attention. The story gained traction, with media outlets picking it up and amplifying the narrative. By the time Elon Musk's team saw the tweet, it had already been viewed millions of times. Elon, known for his unpredictable responses, decided to address it personally. He replied, "Ravi, I'm listening. Let's meet." Ravi couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the notification on his phone. Tears streamed down his face as he read Musk's response over and over, his heart swelling with a mix of relief and disbelief. For the first time in weeks, hope felt within reach. The days following Ravi's meeting with Elon Musk were a whirlwind of hope and uncertainty. While Elon's promise to help was a beacon of light, Ravi knew the battle was far from over. Tesla's legal team dove into the complexities of Ravi's case, while his story continued to gain traction in the media. News outlets debated the rigidity of immigration laws, and public discourse around the subject grew louder. Amidst the chaos, Ravi clung to Elon's advice, "Use your voice." Determined, Ravi began recording short videos on his phone, sharing his journey, the challenges of working hard to build a better life, and the looming threat of deportation. In plain, heartfelt words, he reached out to the world, hoping his story would inspire compassion. The videos went viral, with millions viewing and sharing them, making Ravi an unexpected face of the immigration debate. But not all responses were supportive. Alongside messages of encouragement came a wave of criticism. Comments like, "He broke the law," "He should face the consequences," and "Why help him when so many Americans are struggling to find jobs?" flooded social media. Each harsh word felt like a blow, but Priya, his wife, was his anchor. "You're not just fighting for us," she reminded him one evening when she found him sitting at the table, his head in his hands. "You're fighting for every family like ours. Think of Aisha. Think of the people watching your videos who feel less alone because of you." Renewed with determination, Ravi expanded his efforts. He reached out to local immigrant support groups, seeking alliances and advice. Some helped amplify his voice further, while others organized grassroots campaigns to support families like his. Then, the unthinkable happened. Tesla's legal team informed Ravi that their emergency appeal had been denied, and a new deportation date was set just 2 weeks away. The news hit Ravi like a punch to the gut. Even Elon's team seemed momentarily unsure of what to do next. Ravi refused to give up. With Elon's blessing, he organized a rally outside Tesla's headquarters. People from across California gathered, carrying signs that read, "Keep Ravi's family together, and families belong together." The crowd swelled as the energy became electric, with chants echoing through the air. Standing before the crowd, Ravi's voice trembled but grew stronger with each word. "I'm just one person, but my story is not unique," he said. "There are countless families facing this same pain. Together, we can make a difference." Elon Musk himself made an unexpected appearance, walking up to Ravi's side. The crowd roared in approval as Elon took the microphone. His words were sharp and impactful. "This man has contributed so much to our company, to our community, and to this country. We stand with him, and we will not stop until justice is served." The rally sent shockwaves through social media, with the hashtag #SaveRavi trending worldwide. Prominent figures and politicians began weighing in, some offering support, others igniting heated debates. Yet for the first time, Ravi felt a groundswell of collective power behind him. Meanwhile, Tesla's legal team worked tirelessly, combing through every potential avenue for resolution. Priya, who had stayed in the background until now, decided to step forward. In a heartfelt interview with a major news network, she said, "We're not asking for special treatment. All we want is a chance to stay in the place our children call home." The clock was ticking. With less than 48 hours until Ravi's deportation deadline, the pressure was mounting. Priya barely slept, spending every moment refreshing news updates, while Asha clung to her mother, sensing the tension in the air. Meanwhile, Ravi's phone buzzed constantly with calls and messages from supporters and media outlets. But the looming question remained, would it be enough? Late that evening, a breaking news alert shook their fragile hope. A prominent politician, known for his hardline stance on immigration, publicly criticized Elon Musk's involvement. "This is nothing more than billionaire meddling," he declared during a primetime interview. "Our laws are not for sale, and no one, not even Elon Musk, can bend them to his will." The statement sent shockwaves through the media. Social platforms exploded with heated debates. Supporters rallied behind Ravi and Elon, while critics accused them of undermining the law. Ravi felt his stomach churn as he watched the interview from their small living room. "What if this ruins everything?" he muttered, his voice breaking. Priya placed a hand on his shoulder. "We can't give up now. Not when we're this close." The next morning, Elon Musk's response broke the internet. In a live-streamed address from Tesla headquarters, he calmly but firmly refuted the criticism. "This is not about breaking laws," he said, his voice steady. "This is about fixing them." Ravi's story represents thousands of families who work tirelessly to contribute to this country, only to face systems that fail them. If we don't stand up for justice, who will? Elon then revealed a stunning twist. Tesla would donate $10 million to organizations supporting immigrant families, including legal aid and housing initiatives. The announcement flipped the narrative, shifting public focus back to Ravi's story and the broader issue of systemic reform. But behind the scenes, the stakes grew even higher. That afternoon, Tesla's legal team discovered a clerical error in Ravi's immigration file, a misfiled document from years ago that could jeopardize their entire case. The team scrambled to correct it, but the deadline loomed closer with every passing minute. Ravi, unaware of the new complication, was preparing for his final public appearance before the decision. Standing in front of a small crowd gathered at a community center, he spoke from the heart. This fight has shown me that I am not alone. But it's not just about me. It's about every person who has felt invisible, who has worked hard and still been told they don't belong. I believe we can be better than this. His words moved the audience, many wiping away tears. Cameras captured every moment, broadcasting Ravi's raw vulnerability to millions. But even as applause filled the room, Elon's team was in a race against time to fix the error that could unravel everything. The tension at Tesla headquarters was suffocating. Elon Musk, usually composed and methodical, stood in the center of the conference room with a sharp intensity in his eyes. His legal team surrounded him, their faces pale under the fluorescent lights. "We cannot let this case fall apart over a paperwork issue," Elon said firmly, his voice low but cutting through the silence. "Fix it, now." One of the lawyers, a young woman with a stack of papers clutched to her chest, hesitated before speaking. "There's a chance the error can be rectified with an expedited appeal," she said, her voice shaky. "But we need the right official to sign off on it. And they're not answering our calls." Elon's lips pressed into a thin line. "Then we make them answer. Pull every string we have. Call anyone who owes me a favor." Meanwhile, at Ravi's small apartment, Priya scrolled through her phone, her heart sinking with every toxic comment she read. Social media was ablaze with both support and backlash. Some posts praised Ravi's courage, while others called him an opportunist or accused Elon of using the case as a publicity stunt. "Look at this," Priya said, turning her screen toward Ravi. A viral post claimed that Ravi had lied about his military service, citing vague and unverified sources. The accompanying hashtag #FakeHero, was beginning to trend. Ravi stared at the screen, his shoulders slumping. "Why would they do this?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "All I've ever wanted is to provide for my family." Priya sat beside him, gripping his hand tightly. "They're scared," she said. "Scared of what your story represents. But we won't let them win." That night, the rally outside the immigration office swelled to thousands. Tesla employees, veterans, and local activists came together, chanting Ravi's name and holding signs that read, "Justice for Ravi," and "No more broken families." The energy was electric, the crowd united in their determination to see Ravi's case resolved. From inside the immigration office, the staff could hear the chants. The lead officer on Ravi's case, a middle-aged man with a weary expression, glanced nervously at the growing crowd through the blinds. His desk phone rang incessantly. Journalists, activists, even politicians were demanding answers. He sighed, running a hand through his thinning hair. "This has gotten out of control," he muttered to himself. Back at Tesla, Elon's persistence was paying off. He had managed to get through to a key contact in the governor's office. "This case isn't just about one man," Elon argued over the phone. "It's about fixing a system that punishes the very people who keep this country running." The governor's aide hesitated before replying. "I understand, Mr. Musk. I'll see what I can do to expedite the process." Elon hung up and immediately called Ravi. "There's movement," he said, "but it's going to be close. Are you ready?" Ravi, standing on his balcony and looking out at the distant glow of the rally, nodded. I've been ready my whole life. The next morning, the rally had grown even larger, with major news outlets broadcasting live coverage. A reporter stood in front of the crowd, her microphone barely picking up her voice over the chants. This is no longer just a local issue, she said. Ravi Kumar's case has become a national debate on immigration reform, with public figures like Elon Musk bringing it to the forefront. Inside the apartment, Ravi put on his only suit, a modest but well-kept gray jacket Priya had ironed the night before. Asha helped straighten his tie, her small hands fumbling with the fabric. You look like a hero, Papa, she said, her voice full of pride. Priya kissed him on the cheek. No matter what happens today, we're proud of you. Ravi stepped outside to join the rally, greeted by applause and cheers as he made his way to the podium. His heart pounded as he faced the sea of supporters. Taking a deep breath, he began to speak. I never thought my life would become a symbol for something bigger, Ravi said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. But today isn't about me. It's about the thousands of families like mine who fight every day for a chance to belong. I'm asking for more than just justice for my case. I'm asking for change. The crowd erupted into applause, their voices echoing through the city streets. From a nearby car, Priya watched with tears streaming down her face, Asha leaning against her, clapping along with the crowd. Impressed by the overwhelming public support and Ellen's relentless advocacy, the governor called an emergency meeting with immigration officials that afternoon. The pressure was too great to ignore. We have the corrected documentation, one of the lawyers explained, placing the file on the governor's desk. All we need is your approval. The governor hesitated for a moment before signing the document. Let's get this done, he said. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the streets outside the immigration office transformed into a sea of glowing phone screens and passionate chants. Supporters holding signs that read, "Justice for Ravi" and "Families belong together," filled the air with their cries for change. The atmosphere crackled with energy, a stark contrast to Ravi's modest apartment, where he sat at the edge of the couch, his hands clasped tightly together. Priya set a cup of chai in front of him. You should rest, Ravi, she said softly, though her own voice betrayed exhaustion. Tomorrow will decide everything. Ravi glanced at his daughter Aisha, who was coloring quietly at the table. He swallowed hard, his resolve wavering for a moment. How can I rest, Priya? This isn't just about us anymore. It's about everyone who's been forgotten, everyone who's been silenced. Before Priya could respond, there was a sharp knock at the door. Ravi froze, exchanging a glance with his wife. Was it another reporter, a supporter, or worse, someone sent to detain him? Ravi cautiously opened the door to find a young woman holding a camera, her face a mix of urgency and determination. Mr. Kumar, I'm sorry to intrude, she began, but your story has reached millions. People want to hear from you directly. Will you speak to them? Ravi hesitated, his mind racing. Priya placed a hand on his shoulder, her gentle nod giving him the courage to step outside. The young reporter switched on her camera, broadcasting live. Ravi cleared his throat, the words coming slowly at first but gaining strength with every sentence. This country gave me a dream, Ravi said, his voice steady. A dream I worked hard to build. I am not asking for special treatment. I am asking for fairness, for the chance to contribute to the place I call home. His heartfelt plea struck a chord with viewers, the live stream quickly amassing hundreds of thousands of views. Meanwhile, across town, Elon Musk was on the move. Seated in the back of his Tesla, he scrolled through his phone, reading messages from his team. The immigration director is attending a private gala downtown, his assistant informed him. Elon nodded, his face set with determination. Then that's where I'm going. The gala was a glitzy affair, a world of crystal chandeliers and tailored suits. Guests mingled with glasses of champagne, oblivious to the storm brewing outside. Elon entered with purpose, ignoring the curious stares and whispers that followed him. His eyes scanned the room until they landed on the director, casually laughing with a group of lobbyists near the bar. Elon approached, his presence commanding immediate attention. "Director Grayson," he said, his tone polite but firm. "We need to talk now." Grayson, caught off guard, stammered, "Mr. Musk, this is hardly the place." "This isn't about convenience," Elon interrupted, his voice low but cutting. "It's about doing what's right. You have the power to change a man's life tonight, to stop a family from being torn apart. And the world is watching." Grayson shifted uncomfortably, glancing at the crowd that had begun to take notice of the exchange. "Mr. Musk, these things take time. It's not as simple as you think." Elon stepped closer, his eyes locked on the director. "You're right, it's not simple, but leaders don't take the easy road. They take the necessary one. You have a chance to be remembered for something bigger than bureaucracy." Back at Ravi's apartment, the tension was palpable. The live stream had gone viral, and neighbors began gathering outside, showing their support. Ravi watched as his small act of courage turned into a movement. Priya gripped his hand, her voice trembling. "Whatever happens, Ravi, we're proud of you." The crowd outside the gala swelled as news of Elon's confrontation spread. Protesters, reporters, and onlookers surrounded the building, chanting for justice. Grayson, feeling the pressure from all sides, finally sighed. "All right, Mr. Musk, let's discuss this." Elon nodded, a faint smile breaking his otherwise stoic expression. "Good choice." In a private meeting room lit by a single overhead light, Elon Musk sat opposite Director Grayson. The air between them was charged, the distant hum of protests outside growing louder with every passing moment. Grayson's fingers tapped nervously against the edge of the table as Elon leaned forward, his tone sharp and unwavering. In a private meeting room lit by a single overhead light, Elon Musk sat opposite Director Grayson. The air between them was charged, the distant hum of protests outside growing louder with every passing moment. Grayson's fingers tapped nervously against the edge of the table as Elon leaned forward, his tone sharp and unwavering. In a private meeting room lit by a single overhead light, Elon Musk sat opposite Director Grayson. The air between them was charged, the distant hum of protests outside growing louder with every passing moment. Grayson's fingers tapped nervously against the edge of the table as Elon leaned forward, his tone sharp and unwavering. "Director," Elon began, "this isn't just about Ravi Kumar. This is about the millions of immigrants who work tirelessly to keep this country moving forward. People like Ravi don't just deserve to stay, they deserve our gratitude." Grayson shifted uncomfortably in his seat, the weight of the situation pressing down on him. "Mr. Musk," he replied, his voice tight, "I sympathize with Ravi's situation, but I have protocols to follow. If I make an exception here, the floodgates will open." Ellen's gaze hardened. "And what's the alternative? A man who served this country and built his life here gets torn away from his family because the system is too broken to see him as a human being. You're not just making a decision about Ravi. You're making a statement about what kind of nation we want to be." The chants outside grew deafening. "Justice for Ravi." The sound seeped into the room, an undeniable reminder of the stakes. Grayson exhaled deeply, rubbing his temples before finally nodding. "You're relentless, Musk. I'll issue a stay order for now. But understand this is temporary. The fight isn't over." Ellen's lips curved into a faint smile. "Good, because I never backed down from a fight." Back at Ravi's modest apartment, the atmosphere was electric. The live stream had gone viral, garnering millions of views and countless messages of support from around the globe. Priya sat by Ravi's side, scrolling through comments that poured in faster than she could read them. "Look at this," she said, her voice trembling. "Stay strong, Ravi. The world is behind you. Can you believe it?" Before Ravi could respond, a knock echoed through the apartment. He opened the door to find one of Elon's aides, holding a sealed envelope. The aide smiled. "This is from Mr. Musk. He wanted you to have it immediately." Ravi's hands shook as he tore open the envelope. Inside was an official stay order, signed and stamped, granting him the time to appeal his case without the threat of immediate deportation. Another paper slipped out, a handwritten note from Elon. "Ravi, your story isn't just your own. It's a testament to the strength and resilience of so many who contribute to this nation. Let's meet soon to discuss how we can make sure no one else has to go through this. Elon." Tears streamed down Ravi's face as he clutched the letter to his chest. Priya hugged him tightly, her sobs muffled against his shoulder. Asha ran to join them, her tiny arms wrapping around her parents. For the first time in months, hope filled their small apartment. The next morning, Ravi found himself standing alongside Elon Musk at a press conference. Cameras flashed incessantly, capturing the moment. Elon stepped to the podium first, his voice commanding yet calm. "This isn't just about Ravi Kumar," he said, addressing the crowd. "It's about every hardworking individual who dreams of building a life here. Today, I'm announcing the launch of a new initiative, Pathways to Progress, dedicated to providing legal aid, job training, and opportunities for immigrant workers. It's time we recognize their contributions and give them the support they deserve." The crowd erupted in applause. Ravi stepped forward, his voice trembling but resolute. "I never imagined my story would matter to anyone outside my family. But Mr. Musk believed in me when I'd lost hope. I promise to use this second chance to help others, just as he helped me." As the press conference ended, a young boy approached Ravi, clutching a small, handmade sign that read, "Thank you, Ravi." Ravi knelt down, smiling at the boy. "You're welcome," he said gently. "But remember, you can make a difference too. It doesn't take a billionaire to help someone in need. It takes a big heart." Behind them, Elon watched quietly, a rare softness in his usually intense gaze. "This is just the beginning," he murmured to his assistant. "We're going to change lives, not just for Ravi, but for everyone like him." The story of Ravi Kumar and Elon Musk became a global sensation, a beacon of hope in turbulent times. Ravi's courage and Elon's determination inspired countless others to stand up for what they believed in, proving that even the smallest voices can ignite the greatest changes. Together, they turned a desperate plea into a movement, showing the world that compassion and action can light the way to a better future. Thank you for watching this incredible story of hope, determination, and the power of kindness. If this video moved you, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content that will keep you thinking. What would you have done in Elon Musk's position? Let's discuss below. See you in the next story.